Alright, so in this tutorial, we will make a simple registration system so you can keep track of someone's admin for any admin commands like start page and etc. So open your Gamemode folder, go to script files, go to attack defend. So we did create bases, now create another folder, name it users. So you can save all the registered users in here. Now we need to make a path to this folder from our Gamemode. So come back to Gamemode, create p profile or call it anything you want. You can call it user path player ID, or I called it p profile player ID. Create a new string, format the string to your new folder users. So we entered attack defend and then users folder, and then we put all the users in here. This is the player name. So once the player registers, it will save the player's name in this users folder. So it will be the player name, for example, take062.ini, because we already have a player name saved in our player variables, in our name variable. So you can just put player ID name, or if you didn't have this, then you could type get player name and all that, but we already did that, so we don't need it to do it again, and we saved the name in names. Then type return string. So now we have the path to our users folder. Now we're gonna make a command, call it command register, so they can type /register player ID params. Now in here we're saying if is null params. So if the player don't put anything after register, so if the player just types /register and it didn't put anything else after register, then it will send the player this message. This return in here means that the script won't go through any of this. So the script will only do this. It won't do anything after that. If we don't put return, then the script will do this and then do everything else as well. So we're saying that if the player didn't put anything after register, then the player should get this message, send client message, player ID -1, because I put it color here, I gave it a color. This is red and this is white, use it, and this is red again. So we're telling the player to use /register and then put his password. So once the player puts his password, then we need to check if that name already exists in the users folder. And because we made a path to our user folder, we can type if exist p profile. So this is this will get the name, the player name, the one that is using this command. This will get his name from the users folder. So say if I wanted to register again and my name was here, then it would send me this message. It would return this message. You are already registered, use login. But if there wasn't my name, then it would go through this script. So now we need to, so if my name doesn't exist, I'm gonna create my name there. So DINI create p profile player ID. So it's gonna create my name in here. For example, it will be take062.ini, but it will be empty. Then for the password, for example, if you give your script to someone else and then you entered his server and you type /password, for example, test, you don't want that player to go to his script files and look at your password. So you can put something that transfers for example, it will transfer the test to a code, to a random code. So that player doesn't understand that your password is test. For that, I used WP while pool hash, which is also made by Wireless. So you have to download this plugin and go to samp farms whirlpool, something like this plugin. Yeah. So you need to use it already explained everything in here. You need to use this line, add this line, just one function. So you need to add this line after includes somewhere here. After that, you need to download it So we are on Windows, so click on, for example, this download, double click binaries, and copy this to your plugin folder. So open your Gamemode plugins. Okay, now we have it here, and we also need to change our server configs. So go to your server config. We have one plugin, ssconf, and the other one is I don't know how to spell it. I'm just gonna rename. So spacebar, paste, and save. Okay, so now we have this plugin as well. Now the script will realize this wp hash. So go back to your register command, create a new string, call it hash pass or anything you want, and then type wp hash pass, size of hash pass, or you can just type 256 in here, and then comma params. So the params is your password. Yes, so for example, if your password is test, params will be test, and it's gonna convert the test to a code and put it in hash string. This wp hash will convert your test into a code, and then it will put it in hash pass. So then you can say DINI set p profile. So you're saying to set your password in your file. So it will once you open your file from the user data, you will see password, and then it will put your password. This is anything after password. So your password will equal to hash pass. Then you can do the same thing, because this one will be a hash, will be a code that will have either integer or, for example, A, B, C, any of that. So you have to type DINI-set. But because for this one is just a value, for example, the player level, you can put int set and then level 0. I also have weather and time, and I also did make main weather and main time. So your server should have main weather and main time. You can have main weather come, for example, top of your script here, type new main weather. So my main weather will be 1, and you can change it later on from the script itself, but once you start your script, it will be, the initial value will be 1 and time will be 10. Again, you can have set world time to main time. So the main time, the value of main time initially is 10, and weather will be 1, main weather. You can do the same thing for the player as well. So once he registers, he will have main time, and then later on, if he wants to change his weather and time, he can change it. But for now, when he's registering, we're going to put main weather and main time. And then once we put everything in his folder, we need to set his variables as well. So in game, because this will only go to his file, but we haven't done anything in game. So we also need to do player ID level. I created this. You have to create this level, weather, time, 4 more variables. So it's level, weather, time, logged. I'm gonna add these variables to the player variables. So because logged has only one value, if you logged in, for example, your logged can be true, or if you haven't logged in, it can be false. So it can only be true or false. For that, you need to put BOOL and then type logged. Then you can have your level, your weather, and time. Okay, now go back to your registration command. Now you are saying that the set player level to 0, player weather will be main weather in game, and time will be main time, and you need to set player logged equals true, because once the player registered, that means he logged in as well. And then you can format the hash again, because once you use it here, you don't need to create another string. You already created a string and it did everything up here. So now you can format the string again, and to send the client a message, to send the player a message, you have successfully registered. You can say your password is this. Because I'm going to put his password, don't put hash pass in here, because it will print a code for him. That you don't want to see your code. You want to see the password that you typed in, which was initially test. So put params. But if you don't want to show the player his password and anything, then you don't need to format it. So you can just say send client message and copy all this to here. But if you want to show him his password, then you have to format, and